By the morning of July 5, 2017, law enforcement was poised to strike. A man sat in front of his laptop, a multimillionaire living a life of luxury, with a collection of expensive cars, including a Lamborghini Aventador, Porsche, Mini Cooper, and a BMW motorcycle. Known online as Alpha 02, his real name was Alexandre Cazès. The mastermind behind Alpha Bay had no idea that the largest operation ever conducted against the Darknet marketplace was about to unfold right at his doorstep. At precisely 10 a.m. local time, just as the man settles into his day, a loud crash shakes his world. A woman has slammed her Toyota Camry into his front gate. Rushing outside, he leaves everything behind, unaware that this moment will change everything. The driver is an undercover agent with the Royal Thai Police. Authorities from 7 countries have been planning this exact moment. They've been on the trail of the dark web's elusive kingpin, and now they're closer than ever. You might have several questions right now, such as why he chose Thailand, the estimated scale of the scam, or how many real estate properties he owned. Before we dive deeper, let's start by understanding what the internet really is. Most of us spend our time on the surface of the web, using sites like Google, Facebook, and YouTube. However, beneath this familiar layer lies a hidden, more mysterious part of the internet, known as the deep web. And even further below that is the dark web. In the early 2010s, the dark web was gaining momentum, attracting people with the promise of anonymity and privacy. The emergence of Bitcoin provided a new way to make payments without government oversight, making it easier for criminals to conduct transactions on a massive scale. Research shows that nearly 50% of all Bitcoin transactions involve illegal activity on the dark web. This period marked the start of a high-stakes global game of cat and mouse that persists to this day. At the center of this dark web revolution was Silk Road, perhaps the most infamous marketplace to ever exist. Launched in February 2011, Silk Road allowed buyers and sellers of illegal goods to meet anonymously, with their transactions concealed by digital smoke and mirrors. It quickly became a hub for over 100,000 customers seeking drugs and other illicit goods. However, just 2.5 years later, law enforcement tracked down its operator, and Silk Road was shut down in 2013. The authorities made an example of its founder, sentencing him to life in prison in an effort to send a strong message in the war on drugs. In the wake of Silk Road's closure, the dark web saw an explosion of new marketplaces, all vying for the top spot. Within just 35 days, Silk Road 2.0 was launched, but it lasted less than a year before meeting its own demise. Another major player was Evolution, a marketplace that rivaled the size of both Silk Roads. Buyers had to deposit Bitcoin into an escrow account on the platform, and sellers would get paid once the items were delivered. With massive amounts of money flowing through the site, the operators eventually pulled an exit scam, disappearing with everyone's funds. Agora also rose to prominence, earning a reputation as a worthy successor to the original Silk Road. But in August 2015, its founders voluntarily shut it down, deciding the heat was too much to handle. With exit scams, arrests, voluntary closures, and hacks clearing the way, a new giant emerged, Alpha Bay. In July 2014, a man known as Alpha 02 began developing a new dark web marketplace called Alpha Bay. Within just 5 months, in December 2014, the platform went live. Initially, it only dealt in stolen credit card data, but Alpha Bay quickly expanded to include more profitable items. Soon, users could buy and sell drugs, weapons, malware, and even services like money laundering. However, a few things were strictly off limits. Anything related to child exploitation, hit and runs, and stolen bank account information from Russia. Alpha 02, whose real name is Alexandre Cazès, was a 25-year-old Canadian programmer with an IQ of 142, born on October 19, 1991. It appears he may have wanted to avoid attracting the attention of Russian authorities or possibly tried to pass himself off as Russian to mislead investigators. The website itself was user-friendly, much like Amazon, with search functions, filters, and categories making it easy for users to find what they wanted. Payments could be made using Bitcoin, Monero, or Ethereum, all aimed at preserving anonymity. Alpha Bay even offered a Tumblr service, which mixed multiple transactions to further obscure the identities of buyers and sellers. Vendors built reputations through user reviews. High ratings meant more sales. It was a dark mirror of legitimate e-commerce platforms. All communication was encrypted. Addresses were typically deleted after use. AlphaBay rapidly established itself as a major player on the dark web. Within a year, the site had attracted over 200,000 registered users and 40,000 sellers. By 2017, it listed more than 400,000 items and was generating over $500,000 in sales each day. Alpha02, who took a cut of 2 to 4% from every transaction, and from 2015 to 2017, the site made the equivalent of over $1 billion in cryptocurrency. As AlphaBay grows, it's no longer just Alpha02 running the show. He now has a full team behind him, including a representative known as D-Snake, several moderators to resolve disputes between buyers and sellers, and even a PR manager. With the site's success skyrocketing, Alpha02 decides to step back from daily operations. He rebrands himself as admin, handing over most communication to D-Snake. As Alpha02 takes a step back, US investigators are closing in, becoming increasingly determined to uncover the true identity of the mastermind behind the dark web's most notorious marketplace. The hunt for Alpha02 begins, spanning across the globe and lasting several years, as authorities work tirelessly to bring down the figure ruling the darkest corners of the internet. The challenges were immense. AlphaBay's servers were strategically placed in multiple countries. Its users and vendors spanned the globe. Transactions were hidden behind layers of encryption and anonymity. If they could access the servers, they could either shut down the platform or secretly infiltrate it to track down the operators. However, locating these servers was no simple task. IP addresses, which could reveal the locations of users and servers, were hidden within the complex layers of the Tor network. In TOR, website requests are routed through numerous random servers worldwide, making it nearly impossible to trace back to the original source. This deliberate obfuscation made it incredibly difficult to pinpoint the servers, operators, or sellers involved with AlphaBay. Before moving forward, I've got a couple of requests. Making these videos takes time, energy, and effort. Your support helps keep this channel running. There's a link in the description where you can donate. Back to the topic. With traditional methods proving ineffective, the investigators had to get creative. They began making anonymous purchases on AlphaBay, buying drugs in the hope that the sellers would slip up. Maybe the packaging or postage stamps would offer clues about the identity of the drug dealers. But these were just the small fish dealers who came and went. The real prize was Alpha02, the elusive mastermind behind the entire operation. Yet, Alpha02 appeared to be one step ahead at every turn, always careful, always calculated. Investigators were growing desperate. Then, in December 2016, a breakthrough occurred. Robert Miller, a DEA agent based in Fresno, California, was diligently working on the AlphaBay case. Up until that point, it had been a frustrating and thankless task. But on this day, an unexpected email landed in his inbox. The sender was anonymous, but the message contained a crucial piece of information. Alpha02 had made a critical mistake during the early days of AlphaBay. When AlphaBay first launched, every new user received a welcome email. Unbeknownst to Alpha02, the email address of the sender was visible in the metadata of these emails. Although this error was quickly fixed, someone had saved one of those original welcome emails. Whether it was a customer, a rival site operator, or just someone who stumbled upon it, quietly the anonymous tipster watched as AlphaBay grew into a colossal presence on the dark web. Then, in a surprising move, they handed over a crucial piece of information to the DEA, the email address called pimp_alex_91@hotmail.com. This was the breakthrough that Robert Miller and his team had been waiting for. The investigators quickly traced the email address to photos from 2008 and 2009 of someone named Alex on a French-language social media platform called skyrock.com. Alongside these photos, they found an old dating profile linked to the same email. The profile listed Trois-Rivières, a town in southern Quebec, Canada, as Alex's hometown, and noted that he was 17 years old at the time. This suggested that the 91 inches in his email likely referred to his birth year, making him 23 when AlphaBay was founded. But the trail didn't end there. The username Alpha02 also surfaced on a French-language tech forum, where in 2008, he had posted instructions on how to remove a virus from an image. At the bottom of the post, his full name appeared: Alexandre Cazès. With this vital piece of the puzzle in hand, the investigators now had a name: But the question remained, where was Alexandra Kazes? The team delved deeper, uncovering Kazes' PayPal account, where he had linked his private email address. Through his LinkedIn profile, they discovered he worked as a freelance software designer and owned a tech company called EBX Technologies. Further digging on Facebook revealed the profile of his fiancée, a Thai woman, confirming that Kazes was living in Thailand. Kazes chose Thailand as his hideout for a specific reason. At the time, many countries had laws allowing governments to collect internet data for national security purposes, with such surveillance being common in developed nations like those in Europe and Singapore. However, Thailand did not have similar laws, making it an attractive location for hackers. Many in the hacker community viewed Thailand as a haven due to its lack of stringent data surveillance. However, as of March 2019, Thailand has enacted a cybersecurity law. These breadcrumbs led the investigators straight to Bangkok, where, with the help of Thai authorities, they identified 3 properties owned by Kazes. One was a house in a gated community where Kazes lived with his wife. The second was another house in the city, and the third was a sprawling $3 million mansion on the outskirts of Bangkok. As the investigators began tailing him, they saw the extravagant lifestyle Kazes had built, a multimillionaire living large. In late June 2017, a major operation, known as Operation Bayonet, was set into motion. A law enforcement team formed by 10 countries with support from Europol. The authorities were ready to take over a key site called the Hansa Market. Meanwhile, the FBI and DEA prepared to shut down Alpha Bay. This was a carefully timed and coordinated effort, with the goal of hitting Alpha Bay right after the Dutch took control of Hansa Market. On July 5, 2017, everything went into action. Dutch officials took over the Hansa Market, and at the same time, the FBI and DEA took down Alpha Bay. There were a series of coordinated arrests across several countries. Alpha Bay's website was shut down, leaving its users in shock and unable to access the site. This sudden disappearance sent waves through the dark web. In the hours following the takedown, Thai authorities arrested Alexander Kazes, also known as Alpha 02, in his villa in Bangkok.
Alpha Bay was roughly 10 times the size of the Silk Road. So we're talking about multiple servers, different countries, hundreds of millions of dollars in cryptocurrency, and a darknet drug trade that spanned the globe.
Kazes was caught off guard, completely unaware of the operation. He faced multiple charges, including running 16 criminal enterprise and money laundering, but a week after his arrest, Alexandra Kazes died in custody from an apparent suicide, and we don't know further till today. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe for more insights into the dark web and cybercrime. For those who want to support the channel and help us continue creating content, consider becoming a patron on Patreon. Check out the links in the description for additional resources, related videos, and our Patreon page. Stay safe online, and see you in the next video.